we talked about the Patriots here before previous shows, and just talked about Drake May before in previous shows in regards to the MVP talk with him and Stafford. With both, I think he's still holding serve prior to recording this show. I think both put up 300 to 400 yards. Stafford put up 400 to 500 yards, and May put up 300 to 400 yards himself. So as we kind of come into where we are now, you saw the New England. They battled it out with Buffalo.
They did.
Okay? Battled out with Buffalo. They did what they had to do. They put up the yards, the production to hold serve, and they handled business.
Yeah.
Is it time now for us to finally? It's what they've won 13 games. How many games have they won? What is their record? Let me look at New England's record. England Patriots record. All right, 2025. Let's see. At the time of recording, 12-3 at the time of the recording.
Okay.
I haven't played this week yet. So it may seem like to a lot of people that at week 17, as we go into it here, you would have a team figured out, and you'd say, "Hey, well, of course look at their record. They're 12-5 coming into the week. This is a dumb question. Like they're obviously a real team." But then when you look below the layers, and you know, it's not strength of schedule is not the same across the league, and a lot of teams were knocking that fact that they felt that New England had an easier schedule, and so that was kind of the knock on to what we're seeing real. Of course, the record would say it is, but is it what we're seeing real? Now, have the Patriots finally put this to bed with their win against the Bills and kind of continuing to look like that team? Not even a win against the Bills. Take that out there. That's kind of can help with the whole argument of who did they beat, because you got Josh Allen there, and it's always hard to beat a Josh Allen Bills team. So that kind of helps that argument. But they've been kind of consistent throughout the year, and inclusive of the Bills game is what kind of gets me over the hump of the sense of like they've just looked consistently good. Like they haven't looked really bad, and their bad isn't really terrible. So good defense. Look like you got a nice young QB there. Wide receivers playing for them, and Diggs and Booty and a couple other guys there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are the Pats real, or do you need to see more? It's only been 15 games? It's only been 15 games, and you need to see more. You think which camp?
Need to see more, because Buffalo definitely came back, and said, "Hey, look, this is our division."
As they tend to do, man. Buffalo come back on you.
That's the thing. I still think Josh Allen, give me that guy. Not saying Drake's not like.
Yeah, because I think from an either or question, I think people would still take Josh out. You know what I mean? This either or. This is not even a question right now. And I think that's just a testament to Josh and Drake. You just got here. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, I guess.
They're trending in the right direction, right? It's again, what do we always talk about? What do they have? They have their quarterback. They have their coach. They're going to be fine. Buffalo has their coach, has their quarterback. So they have their formula figured out. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think you can watch.
When you say think it'd be this year, as far as like Super Bowl run, or what apart?
Just a playoff run.
This looks like the year to me. Or are you talking about as far as a deep playoff run? You feel like
you're deep playoff run.
Early elimination for them.
Elimination. I think there's better teams than them. The Texans, I think, they're just. If you look at the Texans, just all around, they're just better. They have a better defense. I'm not saying their quarterback's better, but they have better weapons. They have better on the running back side, on the running back, the wide receiver side, and especially the defense side of the ball. They have better talent there. I'm not saying New England can't get there, and your record does matter, right? They are playing, man. Yeah, but they're playing how they came after last season, right? It was not a winning season, so you have to see that the factor. Don't be wrong. They look really great. Can they surprise us? Yes, but just think. Here's the thing: you can run on their offense. So you can run on their defense. Like you can pass. You can run on that defensive line. So that's where it kind of comes down in the playoffs. If you can run the ball, we've seen this year after year after year. Doesn't matter. But again, they're a great story. I mean, I'm kind of sick to my stomach that again they're going to be here again in a couple of years. They're going to be in that conversation of being a Super Bowl contender because they have those pieces. But
I like them this year, man. I like them as contending this year. I can't say that like Super Bowl is a bit much for any team because that anything can happen there and you can lose a game and all of a sudden it's not. I mean, you're necessarily the best team, but in this particular case, I do like the fact. I like what I'm seeing so far, Eugene, and I do think that at least a playoff from what I saw against the Bills, I think that they have it in them because I think the Bills on any given Sunday to me are a team that can beat you. Okay, on any given Sunday, they're one of those teams. They're like the Eagles to me. These are teams to me that I feel like if you play them and you say, "Hey, this team lost to the Bills."
Mm-hmm.
All right. This team lost to the Eagles. All right. This team lost to Kansas City. Like these are teams that there are certain teams that I feel like can win. New England is slowly playing themselves into that, but one of the reasons they're playing themselves into that for me is because of how they played against the Bills. Because the Bills are a team that can beat you. They can beat you. You know, they beat very good football teams and they can come out any week and beat you. They might not have the best starts if we see them having to have miracles at the end of some games to kind of stay in them and win them. But the fact of what I saw against the Bills is just fight. I saw fight, man. It seemed like the team was, I don't know if it's just Vrabel or the guys looked aggressive and it was just fighting a team like that. It seemed to me that coming into the season, there was a David and Goliath situation here. And it would have been the Bills versus the Patriots coming into the season.
Right.
When you're watching the game, it looked like David to me. Like David, like that. They were going right, but they were returning fire every single time the Bills had fire. They said they returned it without hesitation. They were kind of really fighting in that game. And I think that's impressive to see with a quarterback that's only played 15 games. That's very impressive to see. Does that mean that I think that they are better than the top AFC teams? But which I don't know. And it's funny talking about it because they are the top AFC team, like one of them.
Number 2 right now. So right now at the season end, right now
we're talking about them and themselves. Or you know what I mean? Like we're pretty much talking. They're a top AFC team, man. And I don't think it's just BS. As I look through the AFC rankings here, I got the Bills, and let's go look at some of the other divisional. My Steelers, of course. Ravens, not that great this year. Jags and Texans fighting it out in the AFC South. And the Broncos and Chargers, really the only 2 teams there. When you're looking around the NFL, Broncos, Chargers, Jaguars, Texans, Steelers kind of holding on in the AFC North. Patriots, Bills. The only usual suspects we're kind of seeing here are the Steelers. They're always kind of hanging in there. The Bills, the last few years, always hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chargers, I want to say, were there last year. And I think the Broncos had a winning records last year too, but still relatively new. They don't have that same like winning for the last 5 years as you would see with the Steelers and the Bills.
No, but Broncos have the number 1 seed. If they win, I mean, they went out, they're going to have a bye. And so right now you have the Patriots hosting the Texans for the first wild card game.
So that would be nice. I mean, it'd be interesting. I think they would at least have. I think that would be a shot for the Patriots to win that game. And I think that to me, what it says is if I'm thinking in my head, Eugene, that the team may at least have a shot. Like they're coming into. I think the Patriots right now have a shot against any team in the NFL. I really do. I think they have a shot against any team in the NFL. But I also understand people like yourself who are saying, hey, it's only been 15 games. We got to pump the brakes a little bit. Maybe see more. Are you looking to see more from the kid? Or what would convince you? Would it be like a playoff win? Or what would get you kind of over the hump? Or because, at what they've done so far, I'm convinced. I'm not necessarily convinced that it's a sea change because it's hard to see in 15 games. But I like what I've seen so far.
Oh, I mean, I love what I've seen so far. Drake throws the best deep ball. I think if you watch him,
the accuracy, man. You know how I feel about that stat. That's my favorite stat.
I mean, let's just face it. That's the toughest ball to throw. I mean, you can throw that. I mean, and he's like, if you watch,
he's put a couple of those right in there too, man.
Right in there,
right in there.
it's almost getting to like that, when I first watching Steph Curry and going, oh, he's gonna miss that, and then he make it, and then you got to the point when he missed it, you'd be like shocked. Now I'm getting to the point when Drake
Correct.
May misses an open wide like a deep pass. I'm like, oh, why did he miss that? You're getting to that point with him, and that's pretty scary for a guy who's second year in the NFL. No, I mean, I just want to see it. I want to see it in a playoff atmosphere. I mean, that's my only thing is he's handled it, and let's just see. Again, if he has a meltdown in a playoff game, I'm not gonna write him up. I'm gonna go next year. Oh my gosh, he has a great coaching staff. He has a great offense coordinator. He has a great head coach. It's not like and then Vrabel's gonna go to the GM and the owner going, hey, look, I need this, and this to get us to that next level. And I think
maybe like a one wide receiver, like maybe skill players all together, because Henderson works out for you at the running position.
He does.
If you have Henderson and Ramondre, which I kind of like that 1-2 punch you got
right there.
I don't really think that you should really address that.
Nope.
So now you need to address Hunter Henry. I like at the tight end position enough to not make that an instant addressing. The instant thing I address, obviously, and I think they took care of their offensive line, right? I got to look at that offensive line.
Took care of the offensive line. They drafted, that was their first round pick.
It's just getting the wide receiver position taken care of.
Give him there.
Diggs has performed well, but I think Diggs and Booty, if you had those guys out there as 2-3 guys, and you can give them a solid one. You give him a solid one, and then I feel like you're off to the races. Like when you see how a Ted McMillan has changed fortunes for Bryce in Carolina, it just goes to show how one receiver, even one, can change the room for you. Could you imagine if an Abuka had gone there? If you had an Abuka up there with the Patriots, and now you got a guy or a JSN up there with him, you just need a guy. And right now he doesn't have a guy.
And he doesn't have a guy.
But they took the year getting him though. So I mean, you got to think about that though, Eugene. Like it's hard to get your quarterback and the wide receiver in the same year unless you got one like a Garrett Wilson type situation where you might already have a guy there. Otherwise, sometimes you get the quarterback first and then you do a Cincinnati type situation, man. You get Chase or somebody like that later.
Yeah. Right now, you got him on the rookie. You have him on the rookie contract. Go out and overspend on them. Right. Go out and get the number one receiver. Overspend on the wide receiver. This is the moment to do it. There's no reason not to. I mean, Diggs has been great. I have him on my fantasy, a lot of my fantasy rosters. He's performed admirably. But you're right. They need that number one guy to they need that dude he can throw to. And hey, let's just see where Brown is with Philadelphia at the end of the year. There's been a lot of talk. Maybe he goes. Philadelphia wouldn't want to trade him within the division, but would they want to trade him out? From the NFC to AFC. I mean that gives you your number one guy right there. So they should definitely do that next year. I mean they're gonna be. I think they're gonna make some noise. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be go back to the drawing board. Now, again, would I be surprised if they beat Texans? No, because they're one of those teams like you said, the any given Sunday team, and they got the coach.
I think it can happen, man. I think it can happen. I like the coach. I like the kid.
Be shocked. I would not be shocked.
I think it can happen. They can do it to the Texans. But at the same time, too, I like D'Amico, too. So I fight the Texans. And if Stroud has had a down year from last year. So I got to look at I got to see how I'm going to evaluate Stroud. I don't really think about him the same way I did last year.
But look at the last 6
but
games,
he's still a guy, though.
games. Yeah, the last couple games.
Well, that's the problem that you're going to have with writing these guys off. You can't write them off because the thing is like you still have to think about a guy. Let's say even like a Jacoby Brissett can come in there and give you 300. So let's not get it crazy. You got to kind of take all these guys serious to a certain degree, right? Because they'll come in there and still destroy you. So if CJ Stroud comes in there and Texas defense still doing what they're doing, I think it's still a respectable team. I just really like what the Patriots have been doing here. A home game, I think, will help them out a ton. But you're saying you need to see a little bit more, and I don't think that's exactly unfair. 15 games isn't a huge sample size.
Again, it's been fun. If you're a Patriot fan, you're looking at a team going, okay, we're good. No matter what happens from the playoffs, if we win, great. If we lose one, great. We have our infrastructure. I mean, if you look at that going, we have our infrastructure going forward, you're happy. You're happy versus there's so many teams that wish to have that same thing going. Oh gosh, we have our quarterback and our head coach. We lose first round. Oh darn. I don't think they're going to be all that upset. They're going to be okay. We have the pieces to move forward and build a contender going forward.